And we're back, and today we're working on the team associated Rival MT10. This is by far one of my most favorite trucks that I have. I love driving this thing. It's so predictable to drive, fun to drive, easy to do tricks, backflips, wheelies on demand. Absolutely love this truck. It already has some upgraded stuff on it, but even the stock Rival MT10 is an absolutely great truck. And in this video, we're going to do some upgrades that you can add to any version of the MT10, also the Pro 4, brushed and brushless versions. And so these items are to increase a little bit of durability and give some pretty cool bling factor. Nothing too crazy. One of the most exciting parts that they released was this really awesome, now this company is Exotek. They make racing parts normally for race cars. They do a really good job. Their machining's always really nice. That's why when I seen the Exotek come up with parts, I'm going to grab those. I like nice stuff that's actually going to help serve a purpose, and it looks like this motor mount was probably very well thought out. The way that's all completely designed. It's not just a recut of the original one. We have some aluminum hex hubs, front steering rack, ball bearings with all the hardware, caster hubs. So these are for the front up here. Also have the steering knuckles. We have a new steering servo horn with the correct geometry compared to the one I have on there. And then we also have the rear hubs. Pretty nice stuff. We'll go over them once we open them up, get in there. I would like to say, as we start this truck has been really, really good. It's my favorite for a lot of reasons. One, durability wise, it's been really good. Comparing it to when I've had some Traxxas vehicles at the same time and some other brand, this one has always held up, but it just drives so good. My truck in particular, I've upgraded it. I'm running a Z-Run 8-scale racing brushless system in here. It's an older system, but it works extremely well in this truck. I wouldn't change it for any reason. And then I have some different shocks on here. You cannot get these shocks anymore. They are a team associated shock that were developed for the original SC10 4x4, and they just work great on this truck. So I don't mess with them, I don't change them, because the way they're set up works great. But Team Associated does make a good set of shocks for the MT10 and the Pro 4 that are absolutely awesome. I have that style of shocks on my Pro 4. I'll put a picture of those up and a part number in the description if you're interested in picking up those. Anyway, let's go ahead and start tearing this apart. We're going to start at the back and work our way to the front. I do need to replace the rear drive shaft on this side. Nobody makes a decent pair of drive shafts. They do make steel ones. Team Associated does. They're not good. They don't hold up. They bend. So I just stick to the plastics. And take a look at these pieces. Very nice. All the edges are chamfered. Machine quality looks really good. Laser etched with the Exotek. They look real nice. They also have some set screws here to help hold the hinge pins. Pinch them in place. That's a nice touch. One thing I'm noticing here that you aren't going to get with some of this cheaper stuff out there is after these were anodized, they re-machined the bearing areas to make sure the clearances were all perfect. That is a super nice touch. These things just feel really good. The anodizing looks really nice. So fitment should be awesome, no problem. So we need to get the aluminum hexes. The hexes have a set screw to stay in place. I really like that. Okay, we got the rear hubs on. We replaced the rear drive shafts, drive shaft set Comes with both drive shafts. Seeing how this has seen some use, I just decided to go ahead, change both sides so they're nice and fresh, and then I'm saving the old ones in case they break and I have extras laying around. I don't think I'm going to change the fronts because they're probably in pretty good shape. Everything fits really nice. I mean, there is no slop in the bearings, nothing like that. You know, this is what you get when you buy quality parts. Everything fits really nice bearings, no spacing issues. Everywhere that there was a lock nut, even though it's a lock nut, a nylon nut, I still put Loctite on it. So make sure you Loctite your set screw here on your hex hub. Don't over tighten, just snug it down. And same with these two. So the next thing we're going to tackle is the motor mount. This is the part. This is one of the things I think is a very worthy upgrade. I haven't had too many issues, but the motor mount does bend. It's very, very soft, super soft. And I'm kind of curious how this thing fits. It's super nice stainless steel. This is not aluminum. Nice thing about the Exotek, which is something you get when you buy something a little nicer, they actually provide you with some instructions. Okay, by far the most complicated part of this upgrade is going to be replacing this part of the motor mount, because you need to get to this screw here, which is behind the spur gear, so you have to completely remove the rear end. Now, even though this does come with nice instructions to tell you how to install or mount, it doesn't quite tell you that you have to remove the whole back half. So just go ahead and decide, remove the rear skid plate, 2 screws on the top. It's really not too complicated to separate this. And you can get this part out, and then we need to go ahead and install the new piece. It does say in the instructions to reuse all the stock hardware if it's still in good shape. Make sure you Loctite everything back in place. Yeah, so we got the motor mount all mounted in, everything set up just right. I will say that this motor mount is the best upgrade out of all of these. This motor mount is super solid. There's no way this motor's, I mean, there's always a way, but I don't think this motor's ever moving. I actually had the original one working pretty good, but you can kind of see there's a little bit of a twist to it. But getting this screw in was the hardest part, because if you still have your electronics and stuff in, it's hard to get in there. They recommend in the instructions to use a ball driver. I ended up just using an L-shaped Allen key to get it started, but it was a little bit of finagling. And yeah, so that's all set up. Super nice. You can even see it's laser etched Exotek across the top here, which I didn't notice before. All right, the next thing we're going to do is the front steering knuckles and caster hubs, C-hubs. Get those installed. Should be pretty straightforward. Alright, so we got this front all put together. A little time consuming, but not too bad. And not complicated, but... And there we have it. We have both sides on in the front. Man, this thing is looking good. It's not just about looks though. We're getting some nice premium parts, some durability, but they do look nice. Very well machined. Exotek does a nice job. Okay, then the last thing that we have to do is steering set. It does come with instructions, and this one should be too bad. We got to pull the skid plate off. The only thing I will need to do is, we got to do the steering arm. You can see I have an aluminum one on here, but the angle is a little bit elevated, so the new one will fix that. Actually, it looks like the servo arm is bent, so this will be a nice fix. And we do have a cracked skid plate, so I am going to have to pick up a new skid plate in order to finish this. I may have one laying around, we'll see. Okay, we're done with all the upgrades on the Rival MT10 from Exotek. The blue aluminum looks awesome. Everything fit and finish of these items are very, very nice. No slop, no bearing slop, none of that cheap stuff that you can get from Amazon or China, which I don't even know what's available for this truck. But Exotek is a very well-known brand, mostly for race cars, as mentioned earlier in this video. So their fit and finish is nice. Their machining and quality of the way these parts are built, they're just smooth, no jagged edges. Really, really nice. A lot of thought went into these. They didn't just mimic a stock part. They actually put a little thought in with the set screws to help hold the hinge pin, so that the hinge pin was pivoting on the plastic arms, and the brass bushings up front instead of inside the aluminum and causing galling and stuff that might cause problems down the road. The steering system, the steering servo saver and bell crank set has virtually no slop in it. The slop that I'm getting in it is coming from the servo a little bit, but I mean, when you have these many components, these many links, you usually have a lot more slop than this. This is very nice and tight. Looks really good inside there. I mean, looks is part of it. Durability is another. Anyway, guys, hope you like this video. Please like, subscribe, and share. Most of these parts would be available through your local hobby shop, whether they stock them or could special order them for you. So please check that out before ordering them online. Thanks, guys.